The sky over Seoul was not blue anymore. It was a sick yellow-orange color like an old bruise. Dr. Taehyun Park looked up at it and felt tired. Very tired. He had not slept well for weeks now. Another bad day, he said to himself. He turned away from the window and walked back to his desk. The room was large and full of machines. Some beeped, some hummed. All of them were trying to solve the same big problem. Earth was dying. People had known this was coming for a long time. They had used too much, they had thrown away too much, they had burned too much. Now the air was bad, the water was bad, the soil was bad. Plants were dying, animals were dying, and soon people would die too. Maybe 5 years left, maybe less. Taehyun looked at the numbers on his screen. They were not good. His team was trying to fix the air to clean it so people could breathe again. But it was like trying to empty the ocean with a cup. Too little, too late. He heard fast footsteps in the hall. The door flew open. Myeon Choi ran in, her face white with fear. She was always calm, always in control. Not now. Dr. Park, you need to see this. She held up her tablet. Her hand was shaking. Taehyun took it from her. On the screen he saw a picture from space. There were things in Earth's orbit. Big things. Things that should not be there. What are they? He asked. We don't know, said Myeon. Nobody knows. They just appeared. All at once, no warning. As they watched, all the screens in the lab turned on by themselves. The same thing was happening all over the world. On every screen was the same message. We have observed your struggle. We offer salvation. Prepare for contact. Taehyun felt cold all over. Call Dr. Kim, he said. Now. Dr. Ji-woo Kim was the smartest person Taehyun had ever met. She did not like people much. She liked numbers and problems and quiet. But right now, they needed her brain. Myeon was already on the phone. Dr. Kim is coming, she said. She says to turn on the news. Taehyun did. Every channel showed the same thing. People looking up at the sky, pointing, crying, praying. The things in orbit were visible now, even in daylight. They looked like giant silver eggs, smooth and perfect. How many are there? Asked Taehyun. 57, said a voice from the door. Dr. Kim walked in, her hair a mess, her eyes sharp behind her glasses. 57 objects, each about 2 kilometers long. They're in stable orbit. They're not doing anything hostile. Yet. Aliens, said Myeon. The word hung in the air. Real aliens. We don't know that, said Taehyun. But even he didn't believe it. What else could they be? His phone rang. It was a number he didn't know. Dr. Park, this is Defense Minister Yu. Are you watching? Yes, sir. The United Nations is forming an emergency team. Scientists, military, politicians. Your name is on the list. Dr. Kim's too. We need you in New York now. Taehyun looked at Ji-woo. She was already packing a bag. We'll be ready, he said. The trip to New York was strange. The sky was full of the silver egg ships. People on the plane were scared. Some cried, some drank too much, some prayed. Taehyun looked at his data. Ji-woo slept. New York was not what it used to be. Half the city was behind seawalls now. Parts were underwater, but the UN building still stood, protected by massive barriers. Inside, it was chaos. People from every country talked, argued, planned. Nobody knew what to do. Taehyun and Ji-woo were taken to a room with other scientists. They waited, watched the news. The silver ships just sat there, silent. Then, at exactly noon New York time, one of the ships moved. It came down slowly, stopping high above the city. A smaller ship came out of it and flew down to Central Park. The world watched on, live TV as a door opened in the small ship. And out came the visitors. They looked almost human. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. But their skin shone like metal in the sun, changing colors as they moved. Their eyes were strange too. They caught light and broke it into rainbows. There were 5 of them. They stood calmly as military helicopters circled overhead. They waited as UN officials approached them carefully. We come in peace, said one of the visitors in perfect English. "We are the Narium. We have come to help." 3 days later, Taehyun sat in a UN meeting room, listening to the Narium leader speak. The alien called itself Hanul, a name it said it chose because it liked how it sounded. "Your world is dying," said Hanul. Its voice was smooth and calm. "We have seen this before many times. Young species often hurt their planets before they learn better." Ambassador Do-hyun Lee, chosen to speak for Earth, looked tired. "Can you help us?" "Yes," said Hanul. "We have technology that can clean your air, your water, your soil. We can help you build clean energy. We can save your world." "And what do you want in return?" asked Ji-woo Kim. She had not spoken much in these meetings, but when she did, everyone listened. Hanul turned its rainbow eyes to her. "We want to learn. We want to study your plants, your animals, your cultures, before they are gone forever. We want to set up research stations. Share knowledge, that is all." Taehyun watched Hanul carefully. The alien seemed honest. But something felt wrong. "Why help us?" asked Taehyun. "Why travel so far for a dying world?" Hanul's face was hard to read. Did it look sad? Amused? It was impossible to tell. "Because death is sad," it said finally. "Because life is rare in the universe. Because we were once like you, on the edge of ending. Another species helped us, now we help others." The world leaders talked for hours, they argued, they worried, but in the end, what choice did they have? Earth was dying. The Narium offered life. "We accept your help," said Ambassador Lee. "Thank you." Hanul bowed its head. "We will begin at once." 2 weeks later, Taehyun sat in his lab in Seoul, looking at the data from the first Narium atmospheric cleaner. The results were amazing. The air was getting better already. "It works," said Myeon, smiling for the first time in months. "It really works." Taehyun nodded. It did work. The Narium technology was like magic. Already, the yellow-orange sky was a bit more blue, but something still bothered him. He had asked to see how the technology worked. The Narium had shown him, but not really explained. It was too advanced, too perfect. His computer beeped. A message from Ji-woo. "Found something strange in the Narium data. Need to talk, not on phone. Come to my lab tonight, alone." Taehyun looked out the window. A Narium ship hung in the sky, beautiful and silent. They were saviors, heroes, weren't they? He looked at Ji-woo's message again. A cold feeling grew in his stomach. What if saving Earth was not why they came? What if they wanted something else? The night was cold when Taehyun walked to Ji-woo's lab. The moon looked small behind the big Narium ship that hung in the sky. Its silver sides glowed soft in the dark. Taehyun pulled his coat tight. The air still smelled bad, but not as bad as before. The Narium machines were working, that was good, right? So why did he feel so worried? Ji-woo's lab was in an old building at the edge of the city. Most of the lights were off. Taehyun used his key card to get in and took the stairs. The elevator made too much noise. He knocked on Ji-woo's door in a special way. Too fast, one slow, too fast. Their old code from school days. The door opened a crack. Ji-woo's eye looked out at him. "You came alone?" she asked in a low voice. "Yes, what's wrong?" She pulled him inside and locked the door. The room was dark except for the blue light from her computer screens. Papers were all over the floor. Coffee cups, too. Ji-woo looked like she had not slept in days. "Look at this," she said. She pointed to one of her screens. Taehyun looked. It showed what looked like a map, but not of Earth. Strange words were written on it in the Narium language. "What is it?" he asked. "It's a plan," said Ji-woo. "For Earth. I found it in the data packet they gave us about the air cleaning machines. It was hidden deep in the code." She pushed her glasses up. Her eyes were red. "They're changing the air, Taehyun. But not just cleaning it, they're adding things. New things. Things that are not found on Earth." Taehyun felt cold inside. "Why?" "I don't know yet. But look at this." She showed him another screen. This one had 2 sets of numbers side by side. The left is what they told us the air would be like after cleaning. The right is what it will really be like based on the actual program the machines are running. Taehyun looked at the numbers. They were close, but not the same. The real air would have more of some gases, less of others. Could this be a mistake, he asked. Jiwoo gave him a look. You know me better than that. I checked everything 3 times. She was right. Jiwoo didn't make mistakes with data. There's more, she said. I talked to a friend at the main science office. The Nariim are collecting samples, plants, animals, dirt, water, from all over the world. They said they wanted to study our planet. Yes, but they're taking too much. And they're focusing on DNA. They want the building blocks of all life on Earth. Taehyun sat down in a chair, his legs felt weak. What does it mean? I don't know, said Jiwoo. But we need to find out. And we need to be careful. I think they're watching us. The next 3 months were busy. The Nariim worked fast. They put their air cleaning machines all over the world. They built water cleaning systems too. They even had machines that could fix the soil. People began to hope again. The sky was more blue now. Plants were growing better. Animals that were almost gone were coming back. The Nariim were heroes to most people. They had saved Earth when humans could not. But Taehyun and Jiwoo kept looking for answers. They worked in secret late at night. They found more strange things. The Nariim ships sometimes moved to new places at night when people were asleep. The air was getting better, yes, but it was also slowly changing to have more of a gas that the Nariim breathed on their homeworld. The Nariim had built a very big base in Antarctica, far from people. No one was allowed to go there. They needed help. They needed someone who could find out more about what the Nariim were doing. I know someone, said Taehyun. An old friend. From school. He's in the military now. Captain Junho Kang. Junho was tall and strong with a serious face. He met them in a small food shop, far from any Nariim buildings. I've had the same worries, he said after they told him what they knew. The Nariim ships block our radar, and all our new guns stop working when their ships are near. So you think they're lying too? Asked Jiwoo. I think we need to know more, said Junho. I can help. I have ways to get information. They made a plan. Junho would try to learn more about the Antarctica base. Jiwoo would keep studying the air-changing programs. And Taehyun would go to New York for the big 3-month meeting with the Nariim leaders. New York looked better now. The air was cleaner. Some of the water had gone down. People walked in the streets with hope in their faces. The meeting was in the same UN building. Ambassador Lee was there, and leaders from many countries. And Hanul, the Nariim leader. The healing of Earth is going well, said Hanul. Its rainbow eyes moved over the room. The air is 30% better. The water is 25% better. In 1 year, your world will be much more healthy. We are so thankful, said Ambassador Lee. You came just in time. Taehyun watched Hanul closely. The alien was hard to read. Did it feel happy, sad, angry? He could not tell. We have more plans to help, said Hanul. We want to build new cities, clean cities, and help move people from bad areas to good ones. The human leaders all nodded. This sounded good, but Taehyun had a question. These new cities, he said. Where will they be? Hanul looked at him. Did its eyes get colder? In the best places, where the air will be cleanest. And who will live there? People who need help, of course. And some of us. To help teach and build. Taehyun felt that cold, feeling inside again. How many of you? Hanul was quiet for a moment. More will come soon, to help. After the meeting, Taehyun got a call from Junho. The soldier's voice was quiet and fast. I got into their system, he said. Just for a minute. But I saw plans. Taehyun, they're building ships, big ones, at the Antarctica base. Ships for what? I don't know, but a lot of them. And the message I saw said, prepare for phase 2. What does that mean? Taehyun didn't know. But he felt more sure now that the Nariim were hiding something big. His phone beeped. A message from Jiwoo. Come back fast. Found something in the DNA. Samples. Something very bad. Taehyun looked up at the sky. A Nariim ship passed overhead, silver and beautiful. What were they really doing? And could humans stop them if they needed to? Taehyun took the first flight back to Seoul. The whole way, he could not stop thinking about Jiwoo's message. Something very bad. What had she found? The plane landed at night. The air felt almost normal now. Birds that had been gone for years were back. People smiled more, all thanks to the Narim. But Taehyun knew better, or at least he was starting to know. Jiwoo did not meet him at her lab. Instead, she sent a message to meet at an old subway station, one that people did not use anymore. Why here? Taehyun asked when he found her. The place was dark and cold. Water dripped from the ceiling. Because it's safe, said Jiwoo. There are no Narim machines here, no cameras, no one to hear us. She looked even more tired than before. Her face was thin. Her hands shook a little. You need to see this, she said. She opened her laptop. On the screen was a picture of 2 strings of DNA. One was marked human. The other was marked Narim. Look closely, said Jiwoo. What do you see? Taehyun looked. The 2 strings were not the same. But parts of them looked very, very close. They're similar in places, he said. Yes? Too similar. These parts here, she pointed to the screen. They match up too well. It's not chance. What are you saying? Jiwoo took a deep breath. The Narim have human DNA in them, and not just human. I found parts from earth animals too, birds, fish, even plants. Taehyun felt cold all over. How is that possible? They've been here before, said Jiwoo. Or they've been to worlds like ours before. They took DNA. They put it in themselves. Why? I think they take the best parts of each world they visit. They make themselves better, stronger. They collect. Life. Taehyun sat down on an old bench. His legs felt weak again. So they're not helping us because they're kind. No, said Jiwoo. I think they let worlds like ours get sick. They wait until we're almost gone. Then they come and save us. But they're not saving us for us. They're saving what they want from the DNA samples, Taehyun said. That's why they want so many. Yes. And look at this. Jiwoo showed him another file on her computer. It was a map of the world, with red spots all over it. These are where they've built their air cleaning machines, but look what happens when I add this. She pressed a button. Blue spots appeared on the map. Some were right on top of the red spots. What are the blue spots? Asked Taehyun. Places where the air is now perfect for Narim to breathe, not for humans. In those spots, there's too much of a gas that makes them feel good, but makes us sick if we breathe too much. They're changing the air for themselves, said Taehyun. Not for us. Yes, and I think the machines in Antarctica are making more of that gas. Soon it will be everywhere. Taehyun stood up. We need to tell people. We need to stop this. That's not all, said Jiwoo. She closed her laptop and put it in her bag. I had Junho check something for me. The Narim aren't just building ships. In Antarctica, they're building homes, big ones, for thousands of them. They're going to live here, said Taehyun. After we can't. I think so, said Jiwoo. But we have a plan. Come on. They went deeper into the old subway. After walking for 10 minutes, they came to a big room. It used to be for fixing trains. Now it was full of computers and machines. Miyeon was there, typing on a computer. Junho was there too, and some other people Taehyun knew from the science center. Welcome to our little fight back, said Junho. How long have you all been down here, asked Taehyun. About a month, said Miyeon. Since we first started to see what was really happening. Jiwoo walked to the middle of the room. Listen up, she said. Taehyun is back, now we can start. Everyone gathered around a big table. On it was a map of the world with little marks all over it. These are all the Narim air cleaning machines, said Jiwoo. They all connect to the main control center in Antarctica. That's how they all work together. And that's how they're changing the air, said Taehyun. Yes, said Jiwoo. But we can use that against them. I've made a new program. It can take control of the cleaning machines and make them work for us instead of the Narim. What will it do? Asked Taehyun. It will still Clean the air, said Jiwoo. But it will keep it good for humans, not change it for the Narim. And it will block them from changing it back. Can you really do that? Asked Junho. Their tech is so far ahead of ours. Yes and no, said Jiwoo. We can't build what they build, but we understand how it works now. And they made one mistake. What's that? Asked Mian. They think we're giving up, said Jiwoo. They think we're so happy to be saved that we won't check how they're saving us. Taehyun nodded. It made sense. The Narim had seemed so sure that humans would just be thankful. They didn't expect humans to fight back. So what's the plan? He asked. Jiwoo pointed to the map. We need to put my program into the main control in Antarctica. Once it's there, it will spread to all the cleaning machines. But someone has to go there in person. The program is too big to send over the internet. Everyone was quiet. Antarctica was far away. It was cold, and it was where the Narim had their biggest base. I'll go, said Junho. I can get us there. I have a small plane that the Narim sensors don't see well. It's too dangerous, said Taehyun. You have a better idea? Asked Junho. Taehyun didn't, and they were running out of time. Every day the air changed a little more to be good for Narim, bad for humans. I'll go too, said Mian. I understand their communication systems better than anyone. I can help get us in. Jiwoo looked at Taehyun. What about you? Taehyun thought for a moment. I need to go back to New York. There's another meeting in 3 days. I need to keep the Narim thinking everything is normal. And... He stopped. And what? Asked Jiwoo. And I need to talk to Hanul one more time. I need to ask why. Why do this to us? Why not just help us for real? Jiwoo nodded. Okay, you go. To New York. Junho and Mian will go to Antarctica. I'll stay here and make sure the program is ready. They all put their hands together in the middle of the table. For Earth, said Taehyun. For Earth, everyone said together. But as they all went to get ready, Taehyun pulled Jiwoo aside. What if we're wrong? He asked in a low voice. What if they really are just helping us? Jiwoo's face was hard. We're not wrong. I checked everything. Too many times. They're changing our world to fit them, not us. But why? They could have just taken what they wanted. Why pretend to help us first? Jiwoo's eyes were sad. I don't know. Maybe it's easier this way. Maybe they've done this so many times that it's just how they do things. Taehyun looked around at their secret base, at his friends getting ready to fight back, at the world map with all the Narim machines marked on it. Earth was getting better in some ways, but not for humans, not for long. It was time to fight back. The small plane shook in the cold air. Junho held the controls tight. Next to him, Mian looked at her tablet. On the screen was a map of the Narim base in Antarctica. We're getting close, she said. Fly lower. Their big sensors look up, not down. Junho nodded and made the plane go down. They were almost touching the white ice now. It was very dangerous to fly this low, but more dangerous to be seen. There it is, said Mian. In front of them, something big and silver rose from the ice. It was the main Narim base. It looked like a giant flower made of metal, with 6 big parts sticking out from the middle. Where do we land? Asked Junho. Mian pointed to a flat spot about a mile from the base. There. Then we walk. I have the Narim worker suits in the back. We'll put them on and try to look like them. The plane landed on the ice with a bump. It was very cold outside, much colder than Seoul. The wind cut through their thick coats like knives. They put on the Narim worker suits. The suits were silver, like the Narim skin, and had hoods that covered most of their faces. From far away, they might look like real Narim. Ready? Asked Junho. Mian nodded. In her backpack was a small computer. On the computer was Jiwoo's program. The program that might save Earth for humans. They started walking toward the big silver basey. In New York, Taehyun sat in the big UN meeting room again. Hanil was there, talking about all the good things the Narim had done for Earth. The human leaders smiled and said thank you many times. The air is now 50% better, said Hanul. The water is 40% better. In 6 more months, your world will be almost fully healed. We can never thank you enough, said Ambassador Lee. Taehyun watched Hanul's face. Was there a small smile? A secret look? It was still hard to tell what the alien was thinking. We have more news, said Hanul. More of our people are coming to help. They will live in the new cities we are building. They will teach you new things, help you grow. When will they come? Asked Taehyun. Hanul looked at him. Soon, very soon. The first ships are already on their way. Taehyun felt his heart beat faster. They were running out of time. He hoped Junho and Mian were having good luck in Antarctica. After the meeting, Taehyun did something brave and maybe stupid. He went to talk to Hanul alone. I have questions, he said to the alien. Hanul's rainbow eyes looked at him. Ask Dr. Park. Why help us? The real reason. Hanul was quiet for a moment. I told you, because life is precious. No, said Taehyun. There's more. We know about the air, how you're changing it to be good for Nariam, not humans. We know about the DNA you're collecting. Hanul didn't look surprised. You are smarter than most worlds we visit, Dr. Park. So it's true, said Taehyun. His hands were shaking a little, but he tried not to show it. You're not saving us. You're taking our world. We are saving your world, said Hanul. Just not for you. Why? Why do it this way? Why not just take what you want? Hanul made a sound like a sigh. We have found that this way is cleaner. When we first arrived, the dying people are so happy to see us. They give us everything we ask for. They let us build our machines. By the time they understand what is happening, it is too late. It's, wrong, said Taehyun. This is our world. A world you were killing, said Hanul. Its voice was still calm, but harder now. A world you did not deserve. We take dying worlds and make them live again. We save what is worth saving. And us? Humans? What happens to us? Some will be saved. In our museums, in our zoos, the best examples. The rest will not survive the air changes. It will be peaceful, like falling asleep. Taehyun felt sick. Zoos, museums, that's all humans were to the Narim. Things to keep in cages, to look at. We won't let you do this, he said. Hanul made a sound like a laugh. You cannot stop us, Dr. Park. No world ever has. At the Antarctica base, Juno and Mian had made it inside. Their Narim suits worked. The real Narim walked past them without looking twice. The base was huge inside. There were big rooms full of machines. Other rooms had what looked like houses, but not for humans. The doors were too tall. The stairs too steep. This way, said Mian, in a low voice. She looked at her tablet. The main control room should be down there. They walked down a long hall. At the end was a big door. Next to the door was a hand scanner. It needs a Narium hand, said Junho. Mian took something from her pocket. It looked like a silver glove. Jiwoo made this. It copies the skin of a Narium. It might work. She put the glove on and pressed her hand to the scanner. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then there was a soft beep, and the door opened. Inside was a round room. In the middle was a big ball of light floating in the air. Around it were what looked like control panels. That's it, said Mian. The main control system. We need to connect the program to it. She took out her small computer and looked for a way to connect it to the Narim systems. Hurry, said Junho. He was watching the door. Someone might come. Mian found what looked like a data port. She plugged in her computer and started Jiwoo's program. The screen showed a bar filling up slowly. The program was copying itself into the Narim system. It's working, said Mian. Then they heard voices outside the door. Narim voices, coming closer. Hide, said Junho. They looked around, but there was nowhere to hide in the round room. The door started to open. Keep the program running, said Junho. He pulled out a small gun. I'll stop them. Junho, no. There are too many. But he was already moving to the door. As it opened and 3 Narium walked in, Junho fired his gun at the ceiling. The noise was very loud in the small room. The Narium looked at him, surprised. He pointed to the far side of the room. Run that way, he shouted to Mion. I'll hold them here. Mion grabbed her computer. The program was only half done. She ran to the other side of the room where there was another door. The Narium moved toward Junho. He fired his gun again, but they kept coming. One of them touched something on its arm and Junho's gun stopped working. The last thing Mion saw before she ran through the other door was Junho fighting the Narium with his hands. But there were too many. They pulled him down. Mion ran down, a new hall, tears in her eyes. The program was still running, still copying itself to the Narium system, but it needed to finish before the Narium found her. She found a small room full of boxes and hid inside. She could hear Narium running past, looking for her. On her computer, the bar was almost full. Almost done. Come on, she whispered. Come on. The bar filled all the way. The screen showed one word. Complete. The program was in the Narium system now. It would start to change the air cleaning machines back to helping humans. Not Narium. But Mion was still deep in the Narium base. And Junho was gone. How would she get out now? Taehyun was on a plane back to Seoul when his phone beeped. It was a message from Jiwoo. It worked. Program is in their system. Air machines changing back to help humans. But Mion is still in the base. No word from Junho. Taehyun felt both, happy and sad at the same time. Their plan was working, but at what cost? Then his phone beeped again. This time it was not a message, it was an alert. All phones were getting the same alert. Attention all humans. The Narium request your attention. There will be a worldwide broadcast in 1 hour. Taehyun looked out the window of the plane. A Narium ship was flying next to them. Watching. They know, he thought. They know what we did. In the Narium base in Antarctica, Mion was still hiding. She had been in the small room for hours now. She could hear Narium walking past looking for her. Her computer showed that the program was working. All over the world, the air cleaning machines were changing. They were now making the air good. For humans again, they were blocking the Narium from changing it back. But Mion was trapped. And very afraid. She heard a new sound outside her hiding place. A voice. Mion, are you in there? It was Junho's voice. But that was not possible. She had seen him taken by the Narium. Mion, it's me. Come out. It's safe now. She did not move. It could be a trick. The Narium might be using Junho's voice to make her come out. Mion, please. We don't have much time. The Narium know about the program. They're very angry. Slowly, Mion opened the door a crack. Outside was Junho. But he looked different. His face was bruised, his arm hung at a strange angle. He was hurt badly. How did you get away? She asked. They thought I was dead, he said. They threw me in a trash room. But I wasn't dead. Now, come on, I found a way out. A small ship we can take. Mion came out of her hiding place. She followed Junho down dark halls, away from the main rooms of the base. They came to a small door. Through here, said Junho. The ships are just outside. Mion went through the door. Outside was a flat area with small Narium ships on it, but no Junho. He wasn't behind her anymore. She turned around and saw Hanul standing in the doorway. Hello, Mion, said the Narium. Leader, you and your friends have caused us a lot of trouble. Mion backed away. Where's Junho? Was that all a trick? Yes, said Hanul. We can sound like anyone we've heard speak. Your friend Junho is dead. He died fighting. It was impressive. Most species don't fight back so hard. You won't win, said Mion. The program is in your system now. It's changing all your machines. Yes, said Hanul. We know. That's why I'm here. To make you an offer. All over the world, people watched their screens. On every screen was Hanul's face. The Narium leader looked calm, but its rainbow eyes, seemed colder now. People of Earth, it said. We came to help you, to save your dying world. And this is how you respond to peace. With tricks. With attacks. Hanil stepped aside. Behind it was Mion, held by 2 Narium guards. This human and her friends put a program in our systems. They changed our air cleaning machines to block us. They think they have won. Hanil walked closer to the camera. They are wrong. We have more ships coming, thousands more. We can still take this world, make it ours. But many humans will die in that fight. It stepped back. So I make you this offer. Remove the program from our systems. Let us continue our work. In return, we will let more humans live in our new world. As helpers, as workers, not just in zoos or museums. The screen showed a timer. 24 hours. You have 1 day to decide, said Hanul. Remove the program, or we take the world by force. The broadcast ended. All over the world, people started to talk, to argue. What should they do? Fight, and maybe all die, or give in and live as workers for the Narim. In Seoul, Taehyun and Jiwoo watched the broadcast from their secret place under the old subway. They have Miyeon, said Taehyun. And Junho is, I know, said Jiwoo. Her eyes were red from crying. But the program is working. All the Narim air machines are now working for us, not them. But for how long? If people get scared and agree to Hanul's offer, they'll remove our program. Then we need to talk to people, said Jiwoo. Show them the truth. Show them what the Narim really plan to do to us. They spent the next hours sending all their proof to news stations, to governments, to anyone who would listen. The Narim DNA with human parts in it. The plans for the air that would kill humans. The maps of Narim cities that would replace human ones. All over the world, people learned the truth. The Narim were not saviors. They were takers. They let worlds die, then took them for themselves. As the 24 hours ticked down, the world's leaders met. They talked, they voted, and they decided. Earth would not give in. Earth would fight, even if it meant many would die. The message was sent to the Narim. We reject your offer. Earth belongs to humans. Hanul got the message in the Antarctica base. Miyeon was still there, still a prisoner. Your people have chosen death, Hanul said to her. No, said Miyeon. They've chosen to live free, even if it's hard. It won't be hard, said Hanul. It will be impossible. Our ships are already on the way. Then a Narim worker ran into the room. It spoke fast in the Narim language. Hanul's face changed. It looked surprised, maybe even a little afraid. What's happening? Asked Miyeon. Hanul looked at her. Your program, it didn't just change the air machines, it's in all our systems now. It's talking to our ships, telling them to turn around. That's not possible, said Miyeon. The program can't do that. Apparently it can, said Hanul. It turned to a screen. On it were the Narim ships in space. They were turning around, going away from Earth. No, shouted Hanul. It hit buttons trying to stop it, but nothing worked. How did you do this? It asked Miyeon. I don't know, she said honestly. Maybe the program is smarter than we thought. Hanul stared at the screen for a long time. Then it turned to Miyeon. You will take me to the ones who made this program, it said. Now. Taehyun and Jiwoo were still in their secret place when the door opened. Miyeon walked in. Behind her was Hanul. I'm sorry, said Miyeon. They made me bring them here. But Hanul didn't look angry now. It looked different, almost respectful. Your program, it said to Jiwoo. How did you make it control all our systems, our ships? I didn't, said Jiwoo. I only made it change the air machines. Then how? It learned, said Jiwoo. The program was basic AI. It saw what you were doing. It decided to stop you. No species has ever done this before, said Hanul. No species has ever turned our own systems against us. We're good at fighting back, said Taehyun. Now what? Will you attack us another way? No, said Hanul. We will leave. Leave? Asked Miyeon. Just like that? Not just like that, said Hanul. You have impressed us. In all our time visiting worlds, no species has ever fought so hard to save themselves. Most accept our help until it's too late. So? Asked Taehyun. So we have a different offer now, said Hanul. A real one. We will help fix your world. For real this time. For humans, not for us. And in return, you will teach us. Teach you what? Asked Jiwoo. How to be better, said Hanul. We have taken from dying worlds for thousands of years. Maybe it's time to really help instead? Taehyun, Jiwoo, and Miyeon looked at each other. Could they trust this? After all the lies? Junho died fighting you, said Miyeon. Many others might have died too if we didn't stop you. Yes, said Hanul, and we can't change that, but we can change what happens next. The three humans stepped away to talk in private. Can we trust them? Asked Miyeon. I don't know, said Jiwoo. But our program is still in their systems. If they try to trick us again, we can stop them again. And Earth still needs help, said Taehyun. Real help. They turned back to Hanul. We accept, said Taehyun. But we'll be watching. Always watching. Hanul nodded. We would expect nothing less. 1 year later, Taehyun stood on a hill outside Seoul. The sky was blue again, really blue. Birds flew overhead. The air was clean. The Narim ships were still there, but fewer now. Most had left. The ones that stayed helped build new clean energy plants, new ways to grow food, new systems to keep the air and water clean. Taehyun felt someone stand next to him. It was Jiwoo. Do you think they've really changed? She asked. Or is this just a longer trick? I don't know, said Taehyun. But Earth is getting better, for humans, and our program is still watching their systems. Junho would be happy, said Jiwoo, to see the sky so blue. Yes, said Taehyun. He saved us all. They looked up at the Narim ship overhead. Once it had seemed scary. Now it was just there, a reminder of how close Earth had come to being lost. Earth had been taking its last breaths. But humans had not given up. They had fought back. And in fighting back, they had shown even the Narim that life was worth saving, not taking. The cost had been high. But the lesson was learned. Peace was only real when both sides wanted it for the right reasons. Taehyun hoped the Narim had really learned that lesson. For now, at least, Earth was healing. And it was still the home of humans. The end.